Hello students, welcome back to revision time. I hope you all are good. So earlier we have completed life processes and the links to the videos are in the description box. And today we are going to start chemical reactions and equations, that is first chapter of chemistry. So first we should know what is a physical and a chemical change. The change in which no new substance is formed is known as the physical change. It is a reversible change. For example, melting of ice and evaporation of water. Whereas a change in which substances react to form a new substance is a chemical change and it is an irreversible change. For example, cooking, rusting of iron. Now, what are the reactants and products? In a reaction, substances taken initially are known as the reactants, whereas the substances formed after reaction between the reactants are known as products. For example, this is a chemical reaction. A and B here are the reactants which are reacting together to form C, which is a product. What are the precipitates? These are nothing but the insoluble solid substances which are formed on mixing two clear solutions. What is a chemical reaction? A chemical reaction consists of reactants which react to form a product. So in a chemical reaction, there are some bonds which exist between the reactants and the products. When the bonds of reactants break, the new bonds are formed in product. Example of a chemical reaction is this: magnesium reacting with oxygen, that is in the air, forming magnesium oxide. This magnesium oxide is a white powder which burns with a dazzling flame. So now what are the characteristics of chemical reactions? These are the easily observable changes that occur in a chemical reaction. First is the change in state. For example, when we see that when the candle wax burns, it produces the water vapors and carbon dioxide. Candle wax is solid and carbon dioxide is gaseous. Similarly, burning of petrol producing various gases is also a change in state. Change in color, for example, rusting of iron. Iron, which is a reactant, is grayish in color and rust, which is a product, is brownish in color. Formation of precipitates, we have already discussed what are precipitates, and this is the example in which lead iodide precipitates are yellow in color, and this arrow which is downward in direction, it is a symbol for precipitates. Next is evolution of gas. For example, calcium carbonate when heated produces calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is released. So the arrow upward shows the evolution of gas, right? Change in temperature. There are two types of reactions, that are the exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. So when heat is evolved and there is rise in temperature, then it is an exothermic reaction. For example, quicklime reacting with water, here heat is evolved and temperature rises there. On the other hand, endothermic reaction, heat here is absorbed and there is temperature decrease. For example, nitrogen reacting with oxygen involves the absorption of heat producing nitrogen dioxide. What is a chemical equation? Shorthand method of representing a chemical reaction in terms of formula and symbols of reactants and products is a chemical equation. It is the method of representing a reaction, right? Here we have this reaction between zinc and dilute sulfuric acid forming zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas is released. So this is the chemical equation where we have represented the reactants and products in the form of formulas, and this is a symbol of evolution of gas, right? So now what is a balanced chemical equation? So an equation in which the number of atoms of different elements, they are equal on both the reactant and product side. For example, we have this reaction here. Here what are the elements we have? We have zinc, we have hydrogen, we have sulfur and oxygen. So now on the reactant side, that is the left hand side, this is the left hand side, and product side is the right hand side. Okay. So on the left hand side we have one zinc, and on the right hand side also we have one zinc atom. And hydrogen atom, here we have two hydrogens, here also we have two hydrogens. Similarly, one sulfur on both the sides and four oxygen on both the sides. So here we can see that the atoms are equal on both the reactant and product side. Hence we can say this is a balanced chemical equation. So if they are not equal, then it will be called as unbalanced or skeletal chemical equation. So how we can balance the unbalanced equation? First we have to write the skeletal equation. Then we have to see the elements and number of atoms on both the left hand side and right hand side. Then we have to balance the oxygen and hydrogen first. So this is almost a similar step in all the equations, but exceptions are always there, right? Next, balance the rest of the atoms multiplying by X. So for example, we have this reaction. It says the magnesium ribbon burnt in excess air to produce magnesium oxide. So magnesium burnt in air, that means in the presence of oxygen, producing magnesium oxide. This is the skeletal equation. So now what are the elements we have? We have magnesium and oxygen. So on the left hand side, how many magnesiums we have? We have one magnesium. And how many oxygen atoms we have? Two. And on the right hand side, we have one magnesium and one oxygen. So now first we have to balance the oxygen atoms. For this we will multiply MgO, that is right hand side, by 2. Then we get this equation. So now how many magnesium we have in left hand side? We have one here. On the right hand side now we have two magnesium atoms here. And oxygen we have 2 on left hand side and 2 on right hand side. So hence the oxygen atoms are balanced. Now we have to balance the magnesium atoms. Multiply this magnesium here by 2 now. So when we multiply magnesium by 2, we get this equation. Now again let us see. On the left hand side we have 2 magnesium atoms. On the right hand side we have 2 magnesium atoms. On the left hand side we have 2 oxygen, and on the right hand side we have 2 oxygen. So hence this equation is balanced now. So in the next example we have iron reacts with steam to form magnetic oxide of iron, and hydrogen gas is released. So we have iron which is reacting with steam. Steam is nothing but water in the gaseous state, to form magnetic oxide of iron, that is nothing but iron oxide, Fe3O4, and hydrogen gas is released. Upward arrow shows the evolution of gas, right? So now what are the elements here? We have iron, that is Fe, we have hydrogen and oxygen. On the left hand side we have 1 iron, on the right hand side we have 3 iron, right? Hydrogen are 2 on both the sides. Oxygen is 1 here and 4 here. So first we have to balance the oxygen atoms. For this we will multiply this water by 4, right? Because oxygen is only present in water here on the reactant side, right? So multiply water by 4, we get this equation. So now on the left hand side we have 1 iron, and on the right hand side we have 3 iron. Hydrogen now is 8 here, that is 4 2s are 8, and 2 in the right hand side. Oxygen is now balanced. So now we have to balance the hydrogen atoms. For this multiply this hydrogen by 4, because on the product side we have hydrogen here only, right? So after that we will get this equation. Now hydrogen and oxygen both are balanced. Now we have to balance the iron atoms. So for this we will multiply this iron by 3, and ultimately our equation is balanced. So next is nitrogen plus hydrogen forming ammonia, right? We have this equation here. So this is the equation which is the exception where we cannot balance the hydrogen atoms first. We will balance the nitrogen atoms first here. So we have 2 nitrogens here and 1 here. Simply if we multiply this equation by 2, the nitrogen atoms will be balanced. Now how many hydrogen atoms we have here? We have 3 2s are 6 hydrogen atoms here and 2 here. Simply if we add 3 here, we will get the balanced chemical equation. Next is hydrogen plus chlorine forming hydrogen chloride, that is hydrochloric acid. We have 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 chlorine atoms here and 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine atom here. Simply we will add 2 here and get the balanced chemical equation. Next we have potassium in the presence of water forming potassium hydroxide and hydrogen. This is potassium hydroxide. So what we have? We have 1 potassium here and 1 here, 1 oxygen and 1 oxygen, 2 hydrogen and we have 3 hydrogens here. That is 2 hydrogen of this and 1 of this. We have 3 hydrogens here. So here we have to only balance the hydrogen atoms. For this, the minimum number of atoms we can add is 2. So if we add 2 here, now what we get? We have 4 hydrogens in the left hand side and 3 hydrogens in the right hand side. So we add 2 here. Now we get 4 hydrogen atoms, 2 plus 2 hydrogen atoms in the right hand side. So hydrogen atoms are balanced. So now we have 2 potassium atoms here and 2 oxygen atoms here and 1 potassium atom here and oxygen is automatically balanced, right? So for balancing potassium, we will simply add 2 here. So now our equation is balanced. Balancing is a very interesting process and it needs practice. I will try to upload a separate video for the practice of balancing equations. For that, please press the bell icon for the notifications. And I hope this video was helpful. If you want these notes, please email to the mail address given in the description box. We do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.